Is that your son? Yes, he says firmly. He's still watching the boy, but a very stillness has spilled into his posture. Not yet, he says. We adopted Jerem, and we're waiting to see how he feels about that, aren't we, Eleanor? His eyes flicker stubbornly, but he does not respond. Go away, go away. What's going on? Had to pry, didn't you? Calm down, Kel, putting her hand on his chest. Stranger, can we convince you to leave this alone? Please, for the sake of our family. I'm terrified to think what will happen. I won't tell anyone. Well, actually, I'm not so convinced, but we'll see. We don't have to tell him anything, Eleanor says. The more we argue, the more likely Jerem will overheard. Okay. Jerem got here through the House of Empty Time. He comes from Segus, like us, only centuries in the past. That's why his speech is different, why he remembers places that aren't here anymore. She jabs your chest with a calloused finger. Keep this to yourself. We'll tell him ourselves when we find a kind way of letting a child know that everyone he knows and loves is long dead and dust. I'll kick the skitch out of him if he breaks my little boy's heart. I won't be the one to tell him, but you should, and soon. You're right, Paya says, and we will, I promise. Okay, tell me more. We don't know any more than we told you, she said, shrugging. Find the housekeepers and ask her. Her name was Alison Perry. Oh, what the keeper of the House of Empty Time. You might find her in Government Square. Well, I did. Thank you, Kel. I couldn't hold on to a name if it was buried in a bag of sins. Anyway, the very moment we decided to adopt, she was knocking on our door. We were nervous, but you can't argue with the results. Why did you decide to adopt? Well, Kellner and I, we've been together for how long? Years. Let's see how long this one lasts. And we knew we wanted children, so we tried, and tried. We tried a lot. Some days I barely had time to put my clothes on before Kel took them off again. Interesting, go on. Well, there was poor Kel, practically falling asleep on the shift, forgetting his trousers half the time, and me with nothing to show for it but a glow on my cheeks. Clearly we're working with a barren field. Or faulty seeds, Kellner adds, deadpan, does run in the family. So we decided to find a child who needed a home rather than getting old trying to make one of our own. Did that answer your question? More than adequate. I thought so. We get asked this question a lot, and finally we found that being explicit about the process made the questions just melt away. And what brings you here? Jerem likes it. The tense expression around his stern eyes softened somewhat. We don't have much time between shifts, Paya explains. Our money is spent on fripperies, so we bring him to the market when we can and watch him play. It's better than a night at the theatre. Okay, farewell. Oh. Stay of execution. Okay. Merchant Prata. Who are you? In the shadows cast by the folds of the merchant's cowl, you glimpse hints of verdant chitin and amber mandibles erupting from a pale human flesh. Her voluminous robes cannot hide the fact that her movements are off, as if too many joints inhabit too little space. But her voice is warm, tumbling flood of spoken thoughts and impulses. A fair afternoon to you. Warm, isn't it? Something begins humming in one of her many pockets, and her brilliant, multifaceted eye flickered towards an invisible point in the distance. Well, not as warm as it could be, but this is the warmest minute of the week, by a considerable margin. She trails off, but the hum continues. Oh, you have one of those tattoos too? Anyway, can I interest you in some prime artifacts, dusty relics, Numenera of uncertain origin? It looks like that pale woman. No, you're right, Birdie. Not looks, smells. You said someone else had my tattoo. Oh right, a pale lady. She wanted me to fix an artifact of hers, but I couldn't make any sense of it, and that is rare, believe me. I felt sorry for her. To tell you the truth, she seemed sad, like she'd lost something, and was never going to get it back. And she wouldn't say what she'd lost. You appear to be transforming into an insect. I know. Isn't it fantastic? I think it might be caused by the intermingling fields of the Numenera I use to organize my thoughts, or the ones I'm selling. Maybe all of them? You never know how a variety of ciphers will interact with each other. They are such fun. Okay. Tell me about the Numenera you use. Oh, it's simple, sort of. Prada pulls 3 tiny Numenera from your robes. A buzzing bird figurine, a green music box, and a circular spring. I have too many thoughts. If I tried to hold them all in one brain, I'd just stand and drool, you know? So each of these have slightly different purpose. Which one do you want to hear about? Circular spring. That's Rounda. She's a bit scary. I can shunt a batch of thoughts into her, but she doesn't process them. She just gives them back to me, slightly changed and infinitely better than when they went in. I try to use her much. It feels like cheating. Okay, the music box. Jade Box is a tough old lady. If I'm rolling with a more complex line of thinking, I bring her up and she chomps the individual ideas and feeds them back to me. I try to use her as little as possible because she gives me headaches. No, what's the opposite? Headies? Anyway, they're worse than headaches because you can't go around thinking everything's alright. It's bad for your health. The bird figure. Bird is pretty simple. If I'm running with a great thought I don't have time to complete, I shun it into her so I can pick it back up later. She doesn't make everything smell like berries though. She does. I want to buy one, maybe? I hate to say no, but I've had them since I was little. They're practically family. Okay, I thought so. You're weird. 2 again. I want to learn about the city. No! Sounds like a cloud of insects taking flight. I'll do better than that. Tell me anything about the place that worries you and I'll make it better. That's a guarantee. We do love to help, don't we, Rounda? Are there any dangerous areas? Not at all. I heard so many rumors about how the underbelly was ruled by vicious thugs, but when I went down there to make a trade, no one so much as glared at me. No one so much as glared at me. Of course, they were probably worried I was going to snip their heads off, but their underbelly is fascinating. Okay. Do you? I might be. I've never had to find out. Okay. I'm still finding my way. Think I could get a discount? Well, she says, looking momentarily uncertain. It's like watching a long cloud passing across the summer sky. You know what? I'll give you a discount on everything I carry from now until the last star in the sky collapses. Or, you know, one of us dies. Can't do a thing about that. She laughs again, clearly unworried by the prospect. Oh. Okay, so now we have a discount too. Can you repair something? Oh, I'd love to. Complex machines are my favorite, but no, I shouldn't. I'm really behind on work orders this month. This may surprise you, but I'm very, 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 very easily distracted. You'd better off with someone else, sorry. I wanna use the discount. Let's see. So this is a healing potion. Might, speed, intellect. A cipher. Confers contingent subroutine. Next time this character is reduced to 50% or less health, or any stat pool automatically refill health and all stat pools. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Third man. Refill health, might, speed and intellect for all party members. Oh. Allies in entire area around caster. Yeah, that's nice. Cryophorus dart. One enemy deals 20 chemical damage and confers bleeding. 4 physical damage per turn. Okay, this is really strong. Heals 10 points of health on all allies in range of target point. Okay. Deals 12 transdimensional damage and confers hobble to all characters in range of the target point. Minus movement speed and evasion. Okay, this is nice too. Price sector's eye. Minus 30 evasion. Well, nothing interesting, really.
I'm going.
Is there anything? Okay, so this is where it ends. Slaver, Tol Magur, and Slaver. Let's talk to the Slaver first.
Yes.
Oh. Zalfi. Oh, there's the guy. Let's talk to the merchant. Okay, nothing to sell. Did you sell anything? Nope. So what about Zalfi? Zalfi the sculptor. This portly man's cracked and bleeding hands are always moving, picking fretfully at his thick lips, running through his thinning hair, or molding aimless shapes in the air. His clothes are marked with paint, dust, dried blood and clay. His eyes brim with frustrated tears as he studies the strangely familiar sculptures arrayed about him. A soul like silvers of ice, he mutters. Fingertips long, shriveled, sharp, screams trapped in flesh. She holds him in place. She's killing him. He's not looking at her. Why? Why isn't he? Afraid? No. He claws absently at his sparse beard. What am I not seeing? What am I missing? Who was she? What was he feeling? Without that I can do nothing. What? What's wrong, dude? Everything, he says without a moment's pause, effortlessly drawing you into his self-directed tirade. Every detail is almost right, which means everything is wrong. I am Zaofi, stone carver, sculptor, divine painter of living eyes, and in this challenge my greatest work of my talents has finally abandoned me. He sweeps a scornful hand at the sculptures. Behold my art, wanderer, witness these dull stumps and these crude replicas of sublime being. What is it you think I've made? Can I zoom in, please? Okay, so yeah, let's go. Success. You stare at the sculptures, your memories flow into the sweeping curves, teasing you with what you've seen in your short life, and beyond. Yes, this towering thing is the true form of the creature that pursues you. Zaofi, whoa, has sculpted the sorrow. You don't realize that you've spoken aloud until you heard Zaofi.